Remember when Sir Jim Radcliffe said Manchester United were going to find the next Mbappe and not buy the next Mbappe, or buy Mbappe? Well, how about a Lionel Messi instead? Manchester United, and more news coming out regarding Franco Mastantuono. A new, well, it's not a new target for Manchester United. It's the next kid on the block in terms of Manchester United's recruitment drive for the youngest talent and brightest talent around the world, around the globe. Argentinian wonder kid playing at River Plate at the moment. And a contract situation that developed that put off the likes of Madrid, Barcelona and AC Milan. More details on this story because this is something that Manchester United are definitely looking into. But I'm going to ask a question and give you an option when it comes to this. I'm live. We're getting through all of the news. We're going to touch on a Delap update as well. We've got the Cunha news. We're going to get your opinions on that after what happened late last night as well. An update also on Casemiro's situation from Fabrizio Romano I want to get into as well. Lots and lots of news to try and cram into a 30-minute live show. Please get your comments in the live section. Let's get kick-started with this one. With Franco Mastantuono. I touched on this in last night's show. A story was circulating that Manchester United may be looking to hit the release clause of the young Argentine forward, dubbed the next Messi. Now, the situation with this and how this developed is simply because Manchester United, they weren't originally in the mix to sign Mastantuono. It was between Real Madrid, Barcelona and Milan. Big hitters. Another deal, which was probably going to be similar to the Hendrick one, which took him to Real Madrid, was scuppered when Mastantuono signed a new deal, which extended his contract from 24 to 26. His contract runs out in December 2026. Obviously, because the Argentinian league finishes in December, that's why that contract seems a little bit strange to all of our European watchers anyway. But yes, so Mastantuono extended his contract for another 2 seasons, then adding a release clause to that contract, which was a buyout of 38 million. So again, that's what we're looking at right now, and that is the catch in all of this. And this is the detail this is the minor detail in everything that's happened and why Real Madrid did not buy him. But you've got Madrid, you've got Barcelona. Again, these are the clubs that are always stealing in and taking the best talents. And then obviously we're finding out later down the line when they roll up in a Madrid or a Barcelona shirt and start absolutely tearing it up. Is it time that Manchester United got ahead of it? Now, the snag and the problem in this and why United are going to struggle to get it over the line is because of that release clause. 38 million for a player that is turning 18 in August. An 18-year-old for 38 million. Is he as good? Is he good enough? The noises and everything that's coming out of Argentina and all of the reports and scouting reports are of that this kid is absolute mustard. Everybody can say that though, can't they? Everybody knows that when you come to the Premier League, it isn't all nice smelling roses and everything goes perfectly just because you've been going great guns in South America. You're going to absolutely kill it in Europe. We know the step up is big, and 38 million quid is a lot of wonga. But the reports, Martin Lipton has come out and said this as well. There was some yesterday and there are more today talking about Mastantuono being on Manchester United's radar, as in we are actually considering hitting that release clause. There have been a few reports on this, and reading through everything this morning, and what's actually been said is that Manchester United are giving this serious consideration. They look at people like Mastantuono over the Tyler Dibbling situation. And that's what you've got to look at. You've got a player there that is now in the Championship that has had a little bit of Premier League experience this season. Where is the better value? That's what you're looking at with this. Because Manchester United may look at this and say, right, okay, Mastantuono, you're looking at 38 million. That's a bit too dear. That is way too dear for an 18-year-old who's never even stepped on European soil and played football before. And then you're thinking, right, okay, have your scouts got the business done? Has your recruitment team got it done? Because when you compare the likes of Mastantuono to a Premier League player, for instance, which we are going to be getting with Cunha and the big wages there, how do you counteract the big wages in a player like Cunha and committing to that and getting that player in for Ruben Amorim and still balance the books? Well, you bring a kid in on a big contract, long contract that is, on really, really cheap wages to bring down the PSR factor and that financial fair play issue that United are going to be coming up against, because Mastantuono in instalments is peanuts for Manchester United's books right now, because he's not going to be on a lot of money. And that, I think, is where United are looking at the finances of this. Let's not forget, transfer fees look big. Transfer fees They outweigh everything when you're looking at the original deal. Why are we spending this much? We spent 47 million on Anana, 75 million on Rasmus Højlund, 55 million on Mason Mount. All of these added to them, the massive wages that are in with these players, that's where the money hits Manchester United harder. That's where we're struggling to balance the books. And if you bring in someone on 38 million, yes, that seems substantial for someone inexperienced. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. I would rather go out and buy a ready-made player. I'm just going to be honest with that right now. But I see what this deal actually is. I look a bit deeper into it and think, right, if he's on absolute peanuts wage-wise, which he will be, then that for Manchester United year on year is a lot better than bringing in a ready-made player. Or you could say a ready-made. I think there's no guarantee that Diblin would start in this side, for instance. And I'm only comparing him to Diblin because of the age factor. He's younger than Diblin, and you're balancing what Diblin has done in the Premier League to someone that hasn't played at all in England or in Europe for that matter. But he's absolutely tearing it up. Could he be the next Neymar, the next Messi, you know what I mean, the next Endrick or the next Brazilian wonder kid? Argentinian to that matter, sorry. But that's what you're looking at with these sorts of deals. And where we may all just laugh at them. I've not even looked at the comment section yet, but I'm saying no. And that's what I can predict is going to be happening in my comment section right now. Because everybody's saying there's no point in buying a player for 38 million that's unproven. Surely not. Yes, we don't mind the Diego Leons, all of the other players that we've been talking about for the age that they are at the academy level. But this is a kid that's playing in 40 plus games for a senior team in Argentina, in River Plate, and we all know the reputation that River Plate carry. This is a player that is playing first team football. You're not buying a kid here that hasn't played yet, like we've talked about with the other players that we were going on about, like yesterday when we were talking about Kenabiak, who United are supposedly in for, a French Le Havre striker who is out of contract, 17. Then Zayed Bafdili as well, 18-year-old Belgium kid. All of the other players that we've spoken about this season alone, leading into the transfer window, all academy level, this is a step above, because this is a player that is already doing it in Argentina, and you're buying a first-team player here right now. So this is why I wanted to compare this to the Diblin factor. Cheaper than Diblin, less wages than Diblin, and obviously Manchester United feel like they're not going to get ripped off by another English club again. And this is where Manchester United scouting and recruitment has gone to. I didn't go into much detail on this yesterday, simply because I just thought, you know what, there were bigger things to talk about and there were more pressing stories. But this has just caught my eye, and I think it's definitely something that Manchester United would probably be looking at. I think they feel that this is affordable, weirdly. I honestly do think that they think that this is affordable. This could literally cost Manchester United 6 or 7 million quid a season. They could spread this out over 5 years if they wanted to, and then still have change left over. You know, this is how you have to be very, very clever with what you're doing in the window. And for Manchester United and this type of deal, it may be, if we're not in Champions League football, if we're not in Europe at all, like it could be if we don't beat Bilbao, then these are the sorts of deals you could probably look at as to Manchester United making happen. Don't necessarily just look at the transfer fee. Look at what you might save with, say, for instance, Jadon Sancho's wages off the books, and we would still have, let's just use exactly what's going to happen here. Jadon Sancho's wages off the books would save Manchester United approximately, 15 to 17 million quid a year. It wouldn't even get to half of that to afford this player to come into Manchester United. And that's all I'm saying. That's the equivalent, basically. The big wage players, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a kid that is unproven, you're not going to be paying a lot of wages on him. That's the caveat. That's basically the opposite end to what's actually happening with the transfer fee. It gets a little bit murky watered and complicated, obviously, but Manchester United, with that said, that is still a chunk of money. And again, I am like most people, I'm guessing, that are in my chat now. I'm going to come into it quickly on this one, that are saying that we would rather go out and buy somebody who is ready-made and proven. This, I think, and I understand completely, is where a lot of people would be. But there is another option there for United, and it cannot be sniffed at or looked at and said, look, Manchester United are not in the market for this type of player. Surely we need to be getting more ready-made and proven players. This is where we're at. This is a very similar deal to the likes of Ahmad, you could say, Similar sort of pricing, very cheap wages. It could come in and be the next Manchester United star like he has been this season. Only this time it would be under a better structure and probably a signing that would probably get a better chance. He is ahead of everybody else when it comes to teenagers that Manchester United are looking at. That's all you need to know. He has played 40 plus games already in the senior team for River Plate and has started the new season off as well and has hit the ground running over in Argentina. That's all you need to know. The fact that Real Madrid are going to buy him or Barcelona are going to buy him. Manchester United come in now and steal a march on this and actually spend some money on it. That's how United get these sorts of players through the door. It's a huge gamble because of what's happening right now and the need and the time scale of things for Manchester United to start improving. This, I think, is why there is a lot of sceptical people, I would probably say, in this one. And that, I think, is ultimately the gamble and why Manchester United have to look at these sorts of deals as well. And I think it's sensible in a way. It sounds a lot of money. It does sound a lot for someone who is unproven. But isn't everybody unproven coming into Manchester United? You just don't know. You thought you were buying the next best things in a lot of players before, and they've all failed at United. We all thought that Jadon Sancho was going to be the next Manchester United superstar, the best signing that we could have made. We all thought it was going to work with Cristiano Ronaldo coming at the second time. Things sometimes just don't work out. And maybe we're looking at this a bit differently now. Maybe Manchester United are changing. Look, I'm not saying that this is going to work out to be the next Messi. This is what he's dubbed as. And it may be a deal that just does not work at all for Manchester United financially. But put it together. The transfer fee in instalments and then a really low wage is probably cheaper than somebody else coming in at 20 million or 15 million quid who are on a little bit more wages. This is how United are trying to balance the books. And let's not forget, when it comes to it, after this financial year, Manchester United's squad ratio to revenue is one of the lowest in the league. And if you're getting rid of players that are on stupid amounts of money and bringing in players like this, yes, the transfer fee initially is bad, but it is still in instalments, like I said. When that PSR rule changes after next season, Manchester United are in the perfect position to start going out and outbidding everybody for any player that they want. They can compete at the highest level when it comes to that PSR rule change because of the revenues that United are bringing in. Now, of course, it is based on Manchester United being in more competitions and competing at the highest level. And we'll see if that happens over the next year. But that goes back to what I just said. This is your gamble. This is where United are at, and this is why this summer is so crucial for Manchester United. Just wanted to go through that story first of all, and then obviously get your opinions on this. Just a few comments coming in. What I don't get is we want to pay 60 million for Osimhen or whoever, but we spend 40 million on some pretty much unknown kid from South America. No, from is that me? We need guarantees. Says Cal. Get that comment completely. Get it completely. This is where you have to balance out the experienced player and the younger player. It cannot just be all younger players. And if you're spending a substantial amount of money, which 38 million is, I just said, and I counted that by saying it can be cheaper in instalments and affordable because of his wages, you would still have to go out then and buy an Osimhen. You cannot just get this kid and say, right, that's a bit of our money spent, as the other option against someone like Osimhen or a Cunha or a Delap. You cannot just get him. You have to buy Osimhen as well as this kid. That's the difference. That's what Manchester United will have to do this summer, I feel. Otherwise, nobody's going to be impressed, and nobody's going to be convinced that Manchester United have got anything in them to actually go forward next season, and get back up to where we need to. And then that's pressure on Ruben Amorim, and he'll end up getting sacked next season. That's how it's going to go. I have not watched the kid, but Shirky deal is cheaper and he is ready for our first team. This is the thing. You could buy Shirky and Mastantuono. That's the difference. You could get both of them players in. I know we can only buy a certain amount of 10s, and this kid can play wide, can play in a deeper lying role as well. He is a quality player, but again, are Manchester United in a position to spend this amount of money when there are other deals that can be done that will fit now? I think if you're going to buy this kid, he has to play at that sort of money. That's the other side of it, I feel. But like the point said there, in Carl and in Oculus, Shirky and Osimhen, surely these players, they're not that old. Shirky's 21 and he's ready to go. He's a beast. Osimhen is going to guarantee you 25 goals next season. It's a must. This is the counter to everything. This is the other side of Manchester United, I feel, if this season goes completely wrong and we don't win the Europa League. I actually feel like if United win the Europa League, we can still buy players like this and get ahead of the likes of Madrid and Barcelona and really start digging into the depth of Manchester United and what we've got there for our season next season and beyond. This is forward planning and forward thinking for the future. But again, the demand for now is so great right now within this fan base and around Manchester United that it's hard to look that far ahead. And that, I think, is where people are at with this one. I get it. I completely get it. I really do. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show early doors. If you are live with us right now, if you are catching up later on, please do drop your comments in on that section on Manchester United thinking of triggering Franco Mastantuono's release clause of 38 million. He will be 18 in August and would cost 38 million. Let that sink in. An unproven player for 38 million. Listen to what I've said earlier in the show about the wages and how that would be structured, though, and then give me your honest opinion in the chat. Wanting to move on, obviously the Cunha news last night was where everybody was. We covered it again. I gave you the late update video as well on what Romano said after the show that we did, where the Daily Mail confirmed that Manchester United were in contact and communications with Matheus Cunha and Wolves. There is talks already going on. Then Romano came out and rubber stamped it and said that Cunha is in talks with United. First round of talks went very well and there is a confidence that this deal can get done. He is favourite to head to Old Trafford. And like TalkSport backed up on that one, substantial offers and interest has been made by Nottingham Forest and Manchester United, but Cunha would only want to go to Manchester United. Looking very, very good. I have got a poll running right now, which is basically Matheus Cunha deal looking good. Are you happy? 91% of the vote so far is saying, yes, I am. 9% not. 91% is quite substantial when it comes to it. I think he changes Manchester United instantly. I do. And that's the type of deal that we're probably looking at here when it comes to what we've just discussed with Mastantuono. Cunha comes in and bang. Instant change. The difference is balancing the books. You cannot gamble on youth right now. I understand the youth and buying it in, but if you are going to say that you're going to buy, say, Mastantuono over a Cunha, for instance, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. Yeah, I like him and bring him in, but you still need to bring in the other targets. United needs, I think, like, honestly, right now when you're looking at the deals, I say Shirky, Delap, Osimhen, Cunha. They're your four, I think, United hovering around. Yeah, the other positions, the 8, and with Joe Bellingham and so on, and for Roger Fernandez, maybe right wing back, something like that. I think you're going to get other ones, but the forward line is crucial for Manchester United. And Cunha, I think, just instantly propels Manchester United to a different level in terms of actual quality. Now, experience, and real, I think, game-changing attitude. That's the big thing. It's character. It's all about the character. I think it was Rio Ferdinand who was talking about this. We don't need quality players. We need characters. You don't need skill. You need characters. You need people who are actually going to be able to handle wearing that Manchester United shirt, being able to lead this team. The lack of leaders in Manchester United right now, all over the pitch. There are some, but they can't do it on their own. We need more. Cunha is exactly that. He ticks so many boxes. He ticks guaranteed creation. He ticks guaranteed goals. He ticks guaranteed versatility in being able to play in 10, 9 and out wide. He ticks leadership qualities. And he just ticks that horrible dark arts and player that you would hate to be up against but would love in your team type of player. He just has it, I think. And that's the difference in a Cunha signing to others right now. I think he is worth the 62 million. Personally, I do. I think what United are getting there is the next 7 or 8 years of absolute quality. I do. I believe that. And that is a good investment, I feel. And Manchester United, with Cunha in their side, Can you imagine Cunha, Ahmad, and then one of the other strikers in Manchester United's front line? I mean, it's that there. It's a different ball game. It really is. Then you can start thinking like Bruno could play an 8 possibly in this team, but I think what that does, it tells us that we can actually look past Bruno Fernandes in time. These are the types of players that you would say, right, okay, we have got a little bit of influence here now, and we have got someone else in our side that could probably bring us closer to Bruno's numbers. That's the difference. In a couple of years' time, Cunha will be here, Bruno won't be. That's what you need, someone to take over that mantle and give you them sorts of numbers. Now, backing that up, and this is where I wanted to move on to the Liam Delap situation and the update on him. It is again more from the Chelsea side. So, last night, in the midst of all of the Cunha chaos, Manchester United, according to The Athletic, are still looking at Liam Delap ahead of Victor Osimhen. Well, their words were, he is their number one striker target, which to me pretty much says that yes, we are looking at Osimhen, but still Delap is preferred by Manchester United. So, Delap, we are hearing from the Daily Mail last night, is Manchester United bound. We are favourites to sign Liam Delap. Good news. Good news. We're actually ahead of Chelsea. The Chelsea situation on top of that, they definitely had a good weekend in pushing for the Champions League. The only thing Chelsea have got over Manchester United right now is a better chance of finishing in Europe and being in Europe next season. You look at who they've got to play against. Look, their semi-final, I don't even know the team, to be honest. They're going to be in the final. It's going to be one of Fiorentina or Real Betis. That they could come unstuck in them games because Betis and Fiorentina are decent sides. Go on, Antony. Go on, David De Gea. Try and help us out in that situation against Chelsea in that one. So if they win the Conference League, they will be in the Europa League next season. There is a good chance with Chelsea's games left and what they've got left, very, very difficult games, that they could drop out of that top 6, 7, not be in Europe themselves next season. Now, the difference in what they're looking at here also, though, on top of that, so say, for instance, Chelsea finished in Europe next season, and that's the situation with them looking at Rodrigo Muniz of Fulham, and have actually contacted the people and representation of Hugo Ekitike. So Chelsea are looking at other strikers, whereas Manchester United are probably narrowing down on 2. And Chelsea do look like they're looking elsewhere. Is that a sign that Chelsea are moving away from Delap and feel like he is destined for Manchester United? Could well be. We've got to look at that as Chelsea making significant moves elsewhere, and this could lead to Manchester United having a free road into bringing Delap into United. 30 million for Delap on the wages that he is going to be on is a deal United need to make happen. For the same reasons I've just said with Franco Mastantuono from River Plate, that deal is not going to cost Manchester United hardly anything and gives us absolute acres of room elsewhere in terms of our budget to go out and buy a proper 10. I think the thinking behind, I think, I said it again. The thinking behind Matheus Cunha is him and Delap in, and that I think is more than affordable for Manchester United, both transfer fee wise and wage wise. I do believe that for getting them 2 players in for less than 100 million, which it will be, in instalments, for the wages that they're going to carry, you're probably looking at maybe, let's just say, I'm just going to throw a figure out here, going off what the market usually is, and some of the figures being brandished around for wages and demands from certain players and agents at the moment. Say, for instance, you get 90 million, there's Cunha and Delap through the door, and the wages is probably going to be around about 3 to 350 a week for both of them players together. I'm guessing Cunha's going to want or demand 200 grand a week. And you know what? It's probably going to be closer to about 280. I think it could actually be less than 300 grand a week, because I don't think Delap's going to be able to drive a hard bargain for his wage at the age he is. I think you're looking at Delap maybe fitting into the bracket of maybe 70 to 80 grand a week wages. And then you got Cunha on 200, maybe 220. I mean, you're looking around about 300 grand a week wages, max, I think, for both of them players. That's going to cost Manchester United, when it comes to PSR, around about 25 million. Wages and transfer fees for the next 4 years. That's how much that is for them 2 players. So breaking that down, That's about £20 million worth of Man United's budget on them two players in PSR instalments. That's how it works. So looking at that, you're going, that's affordable. What about Ryan Shirky? What about Victor Osimhen? Can you bring them in on top of that? If United sell the other players that we're talking about, 100% this is possible, because every single player that United is looking to move on and out of the football club is on massive, massive wages. And I'm talking Onana, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Antony. Absolute massive wages that Manchester United can wipe out and then look to restructure in this transfer window. And this is why Ruben Amorim has been going on and banging on about making sure we don't make the same mistakes again, because this is the one chance that Manchester United have got to turn things around. It is going to be impossible for Manchester United if we balls this window up and we don't get back in Europe. It is absolutely crucial, this transfer window. It really is. News floating around everywhere just as we speak right now. Cunha is eager to work with Ruben Amorim and be part of the project. That from the Mail Sports. Again, that was a story that was floating around last night about his pivotal role in Manchester United's redevelopment. Look, he's a United fan. He wants to come to United. He loves Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim loves him. This deal is going to happen. Cunha is going to be a Manchester United player. And it's brilliant news. Because to get a player of this quality after the season we've just had, good God. And yes, it can be covered up by winning the Europa League. Of course it can. But still, Manchester United right now, I would say, yeah, that is a deal that we are lucky to be making. But Liam Delap does look like he is Manchester United bound as well. And I will keep you updated on that as that one develops, because I think it is going to develop very, very fast with Liam Delap. I think it really is. Okay, moving on. We're running out of time. Thank you so much for all the likes, by the way, everyone. Over 150 already. If you like the content, stick a like on the video. Make sure you have subscribed as well to make sure you covered under all Manchester United news going in and around the football club. Loving it. Comments are going in as well. Sorry if I can't get to all of them today. We are making a quick fire show this morning. We've had to go slightly earlier because of me being busy elsewhere as well. So I just wanted to get you fully updated on everything that's going down, everyone. A few more minutes to go yet, so don't worry. Manchester United intend to sign a goalkeeper and a striker this summer, says Samuel Luckhurst all of a sudden. Apparently, Manchester United, according to Andy Mitten, are not looking for a goalkeeper. But Samuel Luckhurst says we are looking for a goalkeeper. We've been linked with about 7 already this summer. More news, maybe we'll talk about that later on tonight or through the day. As always, I'll keep you posted on anything that is coming out. But Casemiro, I just mentioned in a glut of players that could possibly leave Manchester United. He has found form and we've made the case for Casemiro to stay. One more year of Casemiro's experience helping these youngsters come through at Manchester United, like the Morelses, like the Kones, like maybe even Joe Bellingham if we're going by him. Do you know what I mean? Like Casemiro being there, it could be gold. But Romano has come out and said, and talking to Gimme Sport, Romano has said that Manchester United will still and are completely open to selling Casemiro this summer. He is out the door if a bid comes in. It's as simple as that. If someone comes in for him, which, I mean, you look at it right now, could be the case. Like people looking at the influence that he's had over the last few weeks for Manchester United, really playing a massive part in Manchester United getting to the Europa League semi-final. With his 3 assists pretty much, hat-trick of assists in winning the penalty, Mainoo's and Maguire's goals. That's enough for someone to come in and say, Cass has got it. He's still got this. Let's get a bid in for him now. Honestly, that is enough, and there is a chance that someone might come in and take Casemiro on. I mean, if a bid comes in for 20 million, Manchester United are pretty much making a tiny little bit of profit on his PSR transfer fee, and his wages are gone for a season, which is, 18 million a year gone in wages. Shit the bed, man. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And Manchester United right now will probably look at that and go, that does help us actually fund near enough that Delap and Matheus Cunha deal. That's how big his wages are and what Manchester United are forking out. It's crazy how it works with how Manchester United's PSR situation is. The fact that we can actually get Cunha done within this cycle in June tells you that they have done work behind the scenes and have saved quite a lot of money somehow, somewhere, Manchester United. They really have. So, When you look at everything that is happening right now with Manchester United, and do go back and watch my full update video after this live is finished that we put up last night. The link is in the live chat right now. Romano confirming that Matheus Cunha is heading to Manchester United. Well, I kind of mixed the words a little bit there. He didn't say that, but he confirmed that Manchester United have made concrete talks. I've had concrete talks with Cunha's representatives. Cunha wants to make the move. We know what the price is. Manchester United now trying to structure a deal. Talks and early talks have gone very, very well. Definite favourites to sign Matheus Cunha. Nottingham Forest have been, and I've shown a lot of interest in Cunha, but he doesn't want to go to Forest. He wants to go to Manchester United. Thank you. Also, please do get your comments in. I may talk about this later if this develops, but Samuel Luckhurst has just come out and said that Manchester United are in the market for a striker. For a goalkeeper. Whereas last night we was looking and reading reports saying that United are not looking for a goalkeeper. It isn't a priority. I think what will change here is if United get wind of anybody coming in for an Arnott and the price is right, then you will start to hear more stories of United looking for a striker. This is all about Manchester United now gauging the transfer window environment and trying to figure out where we're actually at in terms of players that are leaving, what interest there is in certain players, and how much that can develop a pot for Manchester United to use a kitty as such, coffers, whatever you want to call it, money, to actually go out and invest themselves. I think that's where we're actually at right now. With all of this. But yes, that pretty much is your update all done. It is a quick fire show this morning. Sorry to cut you all short there, everybody. Please do get your comments into the comment section if you want to ask me a question. I will look at them all later on. You have to get out and about right now and get on with the day. But you are fully up to date with everything, and I will be back later, normal times, making sure that you are fully updated as well. Go watch my Fabrizio Romano video from last night, basically confirming all of the information around that deal. And I will see you all later on today. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you, mods in the chat, for dealing with the chats, and everybody new, welcome along to the channel. If you have just subscribed, if you haven't, please do give the video a like on the way out. I'll see you all later on, everybody. Have a good one.